Right, guys, I fucked around and found out with an eye infection. This thing started a few days ago and I should have jumped on it immediately, but I didn't. I just wanted to see what would happen. And now I'm suffering because I don't know if you can see, but it's all red, it's puffy, and there's kind of this little lump in there. And I'm suspecting it's a sty, but it's like up until recently, I hadn't seen anything. It just was this red, irritated lump. So what am I supposed to do? What should I have done right from the get-go? I'll tell you what I'm doing now, and the piece that I really should have started ages ago. I was doing something, but I was half-arsing it, and I know better. So first piece would be to actually manage the infection. I'm using colloidal silver. Yeah, this is a huge bottle. I actually have my own little bottle. It's a clean one where I've decanted it and then it's got a dropper so I can put it in. This is for cleaning the eye, flushing the eye. It's antimicrobial. So, any bacterial infection that is presenting itself in the eye and to the surface of the eye, I'm grabbing it with this. This stuff is brilliant. I have used this on my animals. You can use it orally where you're sort of dealing with sore throats or, anything where you want to sort of have an antibacterial or antimicrobial activity within the body. And then also you can use it topically. So I've used it for chickens. I've used it in the eyes of my cats. I've used it in the eyes of children, for conjunctivitis, things like that. Used it on cuts, gargled it for sore throats. It looks like water. It pretty much tastes like water. Oh, okay. You can get some out there that have a bit of a yellow tinge, but anyway, this is part of my toolkit for my home, for my kids, for me. And so, yeah, I have my little bottle and I'm just been every so often flushing my eye with the colloidal silver, right? So it's colloidal silver, ionic silver. I like that one, just it was available in my health food shop, but anything, you go and have a look in your own health food shop, see if you can get hold of it. So that's the first thing, and that just takes care of it locally. Then I'm looking to clean up my liver. So in Chinese medicine, the eyes are related to the liver. And I'm sort of also looking at where this might have come from. I've been putting my liver physically under the pump because I had a fabulous girls' weekend and a lot of imbibing and a lot of alcohol, chocolate, sort of all of that stuff. And that's obviously put pressure on my physical liver, which affects my liver qi, the meridian, right? So, what have I been doing for my liver? Well, in my world, I'm working with some of the Chinese medicine patented herbs. This one's a favorite. It's a variation of a famous blend called Xiaoyawan. This one's Jia Wei Xiaoyawan, so it has a couple of other herbs added to it that have like a calming effect. But essentially what I'm doing is I'm supporting my liver, supporting the liver qi, and just getting things moving. The other thing I've been doing is this tea. So it's called Dandy Chai. Now, it's a chai, so it's got the chai spices like cardamom and cinnamon and ginger, and that's really nice to sort of warm my body and warm my digestive system. But the piece in here that I want is the dandelion root. So that is a liver herb. It has a clearing effect. It just sort of supports the liver. It also has a cooling energy. So it's really nice to kind of work on the liver, but the fact that this is a red, horrible condition in my eye is cooling that heat down, so to speak, locally. So that is my tea when I'm making a tea in the morning. Also, I'm always got in rotation Reishi mushroom. I usually take that for calming relaxation, but in this instance, it's used for its immune it has an added benefit for me where it's working on my immune system. So yeah, just in case this is systemic, just systemic as in like I'm run down and it's an immune system issue as to why I haven't been able to fight whatever was going on, and it's manifested to be this horrible red thing in my face. That is going to be taking care of that too. I don't feel sick, but I just sort of like, that's an added bonus. If you're sort of more into herbal medicine and tinctures and bits and pieces, I can't recommend St. Mary's thistle, also known as milk thistle, highly enough. This is a liver herb. It's hepatoprotective, so that means it's helping the liver cells. It helps clear out the liver, but it also helps with regeneration of the liver. So not that I'm really looking for that, although I did imbibe. Who knows what's going on with my my liver cells, but I feel like this would be a great option as well. If you didn't really want to go the herbal tea route, you could go with St. Mary's thistle or milk thistle to help with that liver component, support your liver. Now, the other piece I work with, because you know me, I kind of tackle this from multiple locations, is the homeopathy. Now, this is the thing I wish I had started right at the beginning. But, I just wanted to see what would happen. And then, fucked around. And now I find out it's still there several days later and it's just looking more and more red and gross. I've gone with the homeopathic silica or silicea. So you might know silica from a physical perspective. We have the supplements often marketed for hair, skin, nails. Then there is a tissue salt, Schussler tissue salt or cell salt silica. It's used for strengthening that connective tissue. It's more of a dilute form. If we take it even more diluted, we're going into the realm of homeopathy. And that remedy, silica or silicea, when you're looking at like a 30C potency or a 200C potency, we call that the surgeon's knife. It opens things up, it removes things. You can use it for things like splinters, you can use it for abscesses, you can use it for cysts. If you're using it long term, you have to be a bit careful if you've got things like a pacemaker in or pieces in your body, pins in your bones or whatever, like you've pinned together an ankle, can over time remove. So you just got to be careful. Always, anything I've said, if you decide you want to try it, please take it to your health professionals, your team, and see if it's suitable for you and your specific circumstances. But otherwise, the silica has been amazing as to help with this guy. So it's been sort of sitting there and it's just been annoying. And then finally yesterday I took my first dose of silica, and by the end of the night I actually could see the sty. Like I could see where this was trying to even come out. There was a little white head and I had some direction with it. And then overnight it separated, it came out, stuff started to come out, and I was like, awesome, this is clearing. And it's feeling better today. It's feeling less hard. It feels like it's shrinking as opposed to growing. So first dose yesterday morning, second dose in the evening. I've taken another 2 doses today and it's already about 4:30 in the afternoon. So I'll take a third dose tonight just to keep the momentum going. But as soon as I sort of see that has subsided, even if there's still a bit of redness, but the kind of stuff there has gone, I'll stop taking it. But that is the wonder of that remedy. And then finally, why did this occur? So I always like to look at that and, can't always get the answers. Sometimes it's just a fluke thing, but I'm also I don't believe in consequences. I believe in consequences. Yeah, fuck around and find out. I don't believe in coincidences. So emotionally in my world, there's a bunch of stuff going on. There's been some hard and heavy sort of emotional conversations I've had to have. I'm helping some family members with a few things that are kind of tough, but we have to go through it. But I've got to say it's bringing up sort of certain things around feeling burden, feeling a bit resentful. So there's definitely a kind of prickly emotional energy for me running in the background. And that can be, so that sort of anger, resentment, any emotions like judgment, jealousy can be related to the liver in Chinese medicine, the wood element, if you're in 5-element theory. So this kind of is interesting. It's tied into the eye, it's tied into the liver, is tying into the emotions. So I'm looking at those emotions and I'm going with one of my crystal essences, which the one for sort of control, and if I had to like categorize them for the 5 elements theory, the one that I would recommend for the wood element is flow. So I've been using flow just to try and kind of surrender to the situation, keep going, but let go of a little bit of micromanaging, this feeling of burden, and I have to get things done, but I have to do it a certain way and I can't let anyone else help. That's typical of the flow energy, of the flow essence. So I've been using that. You use one crystal essence every 24 hours. So I've actually been tying it in or alternating with another essence, which is called release. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to release something. There's something coming out of my eye and I want to just make sure that on top of me letting go and surrendering, I am also clearing out the emotional side of it. And just as an added piece, well, 2 added pieces actually, the liver in Chinese medicine is responsible for the free flow of qi in the body, right? And that is can also be associated with the free flow of emotions. And so, you know, when you've got a stuck emotion, whether it's angry or not, the liver can be involved, right? So this is where flow is really useful. Tackling the liver from a physical perspective, but also from an emotional perspective is really, really helpful. And then the release is just making sure things keep moving and clearing, and so I can process it. And the final piece is that this is my right eye that this is affecting. So if you are trying to understand conditions or, you know, typical patterns within your body, generally speaking, the right side is the masculine doing side. And, you know, as the opposite, the left side is the female kind of being side. So what does that mean for my eye? Well, I'm definitely in this position where I'm doing a lot, you know, with these situations in my personal life. There's a lot of doing and tasks and pushing myself and having to kind of manage things, and I'm not really being able to sit in being and reflecting. I am doing a lot of reflecting, but it's almost like it's in order to move chess pieces around and move this and manage that and then let that person know and then do this and then make sure that's managed and blah, blah, blah. That's how it's feeling. And I'm not surprised that it's the right side that is rebelling a bit and going, okay, you know, time to figure that out. Also, the fact that it's the eye is about seeing. Am I not seeing something? Or am I sort of judging something? You know, I'm just trying all these on. Now, of course, not everything has to have an emotional piece to it. But to me, the fact that I'm doing what I'm doing in my personal life, and it's been going on for a while now. I then went away and had a fabulous weekend with girlfriends and family and girlfriends and my family, and, you know, drank a lot and ate a lot of chocolate and stuff and put pressure on my physical liver. And then I've come home and I'm back into the reality of the stuff that's going on in the background for me, and then this thing pops up and it's in my right eye and it's red and angry and blah blah blah. It's no accident to me. So anyway, sometimes what do we do with that? Sometimes it's the realization that there might be an emotional component underneath that's the healing. That's where the message has been received, because it's kind of like a message that my body is giving me. Other times it's just something to watch. It's like, isn't that interesting? We don't have to be stuck in it. We can, and have it be sort of triggering us and, oh God, interesting, like, I gotta figure it out. Well, actually, no, in this situation, I'm doing, and I don't need to figure it out. I'm just going to be with it and sit a little bit more in my left side, in my feminine side, in my being side, and do the things I'm doing. But honestly, it's a combination of everything that I think is helping, because this has finally turned a corner. You can certainly leave it and, like I did, but I honestly feel that if I'd intervened a little bit earlier, we might be on the other side of this, and I can be like, this is how I fix this in 48 hours. And I haven't. So hopefully it's one of these things where it's like, okay, I'll learn my lesson and it'll be fixed by, in a few more days' time. So we'll see. But there we go. That's what I'm doing to try and fix this. And I hope that's of use to anyone. Some of you, who are sort of trying to figure out health conditions, we have this reoccurring thing that comes up and it's like, what does that mean? Yeah, so that's it. Hope that helps. Bye.